I walk through the shadow of death left to fear. This is a journey through the halls of hell.
Yes people, what is good? I am BA, and today's movie I want to talk about is the original Mortal Kombat from 1995. Now, this is back in an era where violent video games were almost taking over the world because it was so new to see that level of violence in a video game, especially in video games which were targeted towards younger kids. It was a strange time in general. All these giant movies which were 18 certificates, such as Alien and Terminator, were getting their own toy lines marketed towards children. Everything adult just seemed to be as geared towards children as it possibly could at the time, and Mortal Kombat was a very similar thing. On the surface it looked like an adult video game, but I guarantee you it was majority being played by children at the time. And it became so popular they had to turn it into a film, and I feel like it was a difficult thing to do from the offset for reasons. This is a time when the video game industry was just beginning, so people didn't spend too much time on the lore of their game. They didn't flesh it out and think, will this work cinematically one day? Will this work structurally as a plot? They just created some mad story so it facilitated them creating the game they wanted to make. And in Mortal Kombat's case, they went with quite an out there multi-dimensional martial art tournament battling for life and death of universes, etc. So it's already kinda hard to capture cinematically, and I wanted to mention that at the start of the review just because the reason why a lot of video game movies are quite bad is because they are basing themselves off of video games from an era before stories and plots and things like that were fully fleshed out, so they had either very little to work with or absolute insanity to work with. So spare a thought for the movie companies actually trying to put this shit on screen. How do you put Mario Brothers on a screen exactly? What, you're gonna have like GoPro shots of him going through a green pipe? I mean, it's a hard thing to sit and think about writing a script to. But yeah, so we follow our three main protagonists who have been selected to defend Earthrealm, which is Liu Kang, your traditional Shaolin monk, Johnny Cage, your basically Jean-Claude Van Damme, American martial arts action star, and Sonya Blade, the US Special Forces agent. Now, one thing I want to say before we go on is, this movie was teetering in being a triple A-list movie. Very close to being one, and the only thing that stopped it was, I think actors knew the script wasn't strong enough. If the original Mortal Kombat script was actually jumping off the page, they could have had an incredible cast, because Tom Cruise at the time was highly interested in playing the Johnny Cage role and turned it down, but he was still so curious as to what it was he'd turned down. He was actively visiting the Mortal Kombat set in certain scenes just to keep his eye on it. And I feel like he had so much power at the time, he was doing that just in case it looked brilliant and he could get the guy who was playing Johnny Cage fired and just jump right in and refilm that dude's scenes. Fully believe that's what Tom Cruise's plan was if he thought Mortal Kombat was looking good, but he probably walked around those sets, looked at some daily footage and realised that it wasn't going to be a AAA 10 out of 10 experience and slowly moonwalked the fuck back out of the movie set. But yeah, imagine that, an alternate universe where Tom Cruise was Johnny Cage. Strange. As a child as well, I just remember how cool it was the very first time we saw Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and you see Sub-Zero use his cryomancer abilities to freeze one of the guards and split him into pieces of ice. I just thought it was incredible at the time. Now, upon rewatching this movie as an adult, there are things that let me down. The actual fight choreography is not good in a single scene. Any one-on-one fight in this film, I never think to myself, oh, I'll need to put that on YouTube, that was great. From start to finish, it just does not have a legendary fight in it with any sort of high-level choreography. But the story is enough that if you like martial arts and you like the game, you'll be invested as to who's winning or losing these fights regardless. The other thing I really love about this movie is its reliance on practical effects. This is before CGI took over everything, and obviously they have a very difficult character to bring to the screen in this film in Goro, Prince Goro. He's like 8 feet tall, he's got 4 arms. It's a really difficult thing to do, and nowadays they will always choose CGI to achieve it, which is a shame because in this they did it through a mixture of puppetry puppetry, animatronics, and an actor in a suit, and I think Goro looks absolutely incredible in this. Yes, in some moments it's overly janky and you can tell it's a puppet, but I would still 100 out of 100 times rather have that than nowadays when they would do it with CGI. And I haven't watched the new Mortal Kombat films. I put on some scenes on YouTube and I instantly knew I was not going to like it because every single fight scene has CGI effects all over it. All Sub-Zero's ice moves are CGI. All Scorpion's spear moves are CGI. Goro's CGI. Every fucking thing is CGI. I don't want to watch a video game cutscene. Stop doing this, movies. Build sets again. Build props. Build a Goro puppet. I am not giving you the same money that I could easily just spend on a video game if all you want to show me is a cutscene from one. And movie studios will argue, but CGI drastically saves time and blah blah blah. You know what else saves time? Me not watching your film. Checkmate. And the other thing about this is, I'm not watching Mortal Kombat through rose-tinted glasses. Even as a child, I remember watching it and thinking, that Scorpion fight scene was badly edited, and even the spear in Scorpion's hand in the OG film is CGI, and the CGI they do use in this film is a testament to why they should never use CGI. It looks absolutely terrible and is the worst thing about the movie. The other thing which is a strange choice in this, and even more so the sequel, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, is that it's like a guy that's out of touch trying to figure out what kids like about the Mortal Kombat games. And it's like he switched them on for a second and saw them doing somersaults and thought, yep, that's what they like. Kids like a somersaulting martial arts person. I'll tell you that right now. Because you will never see more acrobatic side-sault somersaults, front and back flips than you will in the Mortal Kombat cinematic universe. I do not know why they had these people constantly doing air tumbles all over the place, but, a good 15 minutes of screen time, I would say, is dedicated to the art of the forward roll, so brace yourselves. They could have had some incredible action choreography in those moments, but they obviously didn't think it through, and the director was like, Dan, put the fucking Scorpion mask back on and do another somersault past that pillar, will you? We'll use that shot as a pickup. There's no other way your final edit has this many somersaults in your film saw, other than the fact you do not know how to choreograph a fight scene. But all that being said, I still have a really fond place in my heart for Mortal Kombat because at the time it was treating the source material with an adult tone, which was the exact right way to tackle Mortal Kombat, and because of that, it became very popular at the time, even though the film wasn't the best. This is also the last moment in my childhood I remember being behind a time wall for movies. This might be beyond your guys' comprehension now, but back in the day, living in the UK, what Hollywood cinemas used to do was release a movie in America first and then slowly throughout the year release that movie around the rest of the world. Probably so they didn't have to put their resources in multiple places at once for marketing budgets, etc. So if, for example, Batman Returns came out in America in January, chances are I would get the opportunity to see it in Scotland at the cinema in December. And I say all that because Mortal Kombat was one of the movies I vividly remember as a kid everybody was passing around on pirate videotapes. Before it had even came out in the cinemas in the UK yet, everyone had the pirate Mortal Kombat videotape. And it was like some illegal thing we were all passing around at school and watching, like, this is the Mortal Kombat movie. Taking it home expecting to see the most insane shit ever, and, you grow up and realise you didn't see nothing too insane, but still, you're a Mortal Kombat fan. You were happy. So yeah, even though it has a special place in my heart, I've tried to do this review with as little rose-tinted glasses as possible, but if you've never seen it, do yourself a favour and check out Mortal Kombat, because I'll tell you this, it's got a bit more heart and soul in it than the new movies have. And until next time, if you've liked this review, click like, subscribe, comment down below, come over to the Patreon, sign up and help support me personally. I've been BA, peace.